Hey guys, in this video we're gonna establish the very best pull plan for the very first version in Arknights Endfield. We're gonna hit the game off with version 1.0 and yeah, we're gonna take a look at the entire version, all of its characters, establish a reroll guide and everything so that we move into version 1.1 with the most amount of efficiency possible. The first thing we have to look at is of course our beginner banner. This is going to be the exact same as the standard banner, but here we get a free character, although this free character is random and rerolling takes you at least 1 hour. But it is very important, especially considering the new information that came to light from their previous live stream. So let's go and take a look at all of these characters. I covered all of them in much detail in my previous video, so we already know what these characters are about, what they do and what teams there are played in. So our pull plan is going to be of course based heavily upon that, because this is a game where you do not pull for individual characters, but you pull for characters to build a team with them or around them or slot them into teams. So let's break these characters down. Why should we pull for them? When should we pull for them? And which different paths we could take here to, yeah, as I said, move into the next version with a whole bunch of efficiency. The first character we're gonna look at is Adelia, and here you can see on your screen that we get her completely for free as a beginner sign-in, so she's immediately out of the equation. If you obtain Adelia from the beginner banner by spending your 40 tickets, you immediately gonna reroll your account without a second thought. So Adelia, I'm very sorry, but you are out of here. No one needs you at all because we get you for free. Cool, then we can rule out another character from here, from this beginner banner as well, which is Ember. That is a tank that has not a lot of viability in the early game. That is not what you want to start your game off with. If you establish yourself a new account, the very first thing that you want and that you look for is a main DPS character which you can build a team around. Ember is not that, and therefore the value that she would provide to you as a beginner, which we all are, then it is way too low compared to the other characters here on this beginner banner. So Ember, goodbye. That leaves us with Arknights or whatever his name is and Li Feng. They are both in the same boat because we're gonna build a team with them. They are physical type of characters and they will synergize very well with our main character. This is of course us, so to speak. So this is another character that we obtain completely for free right out of the gate, and he is the best physical damage dealer in the entire game. There we go, we have a main DPS and something we can and or want to build a team around. Now Arknights would be a very good partner. He is in fact a best in slot for this physical team, so that would be an option for us to pull for, yes, but there are caveats, because first of all, we pair our main character and administrator with another free character, which is her. She's called Chen Quang-Yu, and this is gonna be the best physical team, so to speak, here with Arknights. These three, they build a very strong and one of the best physical teams in the entire game. That's why Arknights would be, yeah, is very tempting. And yeah, he is the best in slot. But now, since we get the character Adelia, we can use her. We get her for free as well. And she's the most versatile character in this game. She's the best healer in this game, and that would also complete the team without us having to spend any resources, any pull currency on Arknights. We don't need to reroll for him, and we have other options to reroll for. because now we know that we get Adelia for free. So we play our main character with Chen Kyung-yu, who's also a free character, and another free character that is Adelia. That is gonna be our very, very strong physical free-to-play team right there. And therefore we don't need this Pogranichnik guy at all. So he can go out of here as well. But let me keep him here just to explain things further and talk about Li Feng. Look, the very, very best team for, like, the very best physical team would be, in fact, our main character administrator, Pogranichnik, and Li Feng. That would be the best possible physical team in the entire game. Now that would lead us to obtain 2 characters from the beginner banner with Pogranichnik and Li Feng. We absolutely don't want that. As I just showed you, we have just totally and completely fine free-to-play options here. It would be a waste to spend our currency, go for our reroll, waste our reroll onto these characters. They just don't provide enough value, especially also not in the long run. We're gonna be here looking at the entire version, not just the very, very, very beginning, you know what I mean? And those characters are also not main DPS characters, but a main DPS character is the very first thing you always want to obtain first when you build a new account. And therefore there's only one option for us, and that is Last Ride. Now before we're gonna take down why we should re-roll and pull for Last Ride first, other than the fact that she's a main DPS, right? Please take a look at this one right here. This is also very key information from the previous live stream. So we thought that, or yeah, the information that was previously given to us was that our rate up characters, they're gonna release, by the way, back to back. You can see the release dates right here on your screen. So first we get Leviathan, right? Okay, that stays the same. But previously the information was given to us that Yvonne will be the second rate up character that releases. Now she moved to the 3rd slot, so her release date got set back further, and instead we get Gilberta. I was thinking about her name, I always call her Garfield. Her name is Gilberta. She is now the second rate up character, and that matters a whole lot, because in my previous video I told you the fact that Yvonne is gonna be the best main DPS character in the entire game when we talk about single target damage. That is a character that we definitely want to obtain. She is gonna be the main DPS for the very best team in the entire game. So that is what we're gonna aim for in version 1.0. We want to move into the next version with the very best team in the entire game established. That's why we need to pull, and we want to pull for Yvonne. Now with her release date having a little bit of a setback, it is absolutely perfect, because for this banner, for the rate up banner, we do not use the same currency to pull on this rate up banner here than we would use on the standard banner. And we don't know how it will be extremely scarce, but we don't know how scarce exactly these special VIP tickets that we need for the rate up banner will actually be. So with Yvonne's release date being set back in time, we have a higher chance to actually be able to obtain ourselves 120 of these special VIP tickets to pull on the rate up banner, to 100% guarantee we actually get the character that we pull for. We need 120 tickets to guarantee us Yvonne, and now we have more time to save up these tickets to actually obtain Yvonne. That is very, very good, and that makes the probability of us getting Yvonne higher and higher and higher. So that is a very good thing for us, and that is what we aim for in this version. And the moment we actually get Yvonne and we play her, that is the moment that Last Ride moves from the main DPS position to the support position. She can do so, as I explained in my previous video, because she applies, I should say, a lot of freeze stacks, a lot of stacks of ice, which then lets Yvonne freeze the target and deal a tremendously high amount of damage. So pulling for Last Ride nets you a main DPS in the early game, and she is future proof because she will still be a best in slot in the best team in the entire game once Yvonne releases. So right, by pulling for Last Ride you really hit all the birds with one stone that you need to hit easily, and then you have the best team in the game on your hands. Of course, like, this team is played with Alish. That would be the true best in slot character for Last Ride and Yvonne. You can also use Snowshine, which you kinda have to do while you wait for the Yvonne release, and you can keep her into this team and then not play with Alish, but Alish is gonna be the best in slot. Now, excuse me, I don't know if we actually get one of those characters for free. If we get one for free, it's gonna be Alish. I don't know if that is the case, but no worries. Even if you do not get lucky or you don't obtain Alish and or Snowshine from like pulling for characters, if you do so, right? You can pull on the standard banner as much as you want. All you need is to save up the currency for the raid up banner. So aim for Snowshine and Alish, pray for them, pray that you get at least one of those characters, and better is Alish. Now, even if you get completely unlucky and you don't get one of those characters, no problem. Why? Because we get Ardelia for free. She's the best healer in the entire game and very, very versatile, and also afflicts. She doesn't afflict ice, but she increases the elemental damage. So she increases the damage that Snow Ride and Yvonne actually do. And there we go, right? That is gonna be your easy pull plan. You're gonna reroll for Snow Ride, excuse me. You're gonna save up all the currency for the raid up banner until Yvonne releases, and you pull on the standard banner to obtain yourself Alish. You can stop pulling on the standard banner if you obtain Snowshine first, and there you go, right? You're gonna move into version 1.1 with 2 teams at least, right? We're gonna have Yvonne, Last Ride and Alish. That is going to be the best team in the game that we're going to have at our disposal. Since we get both, and we get all 3 actually, Administrator, Chen Qingyu and Ardelia for free, that is going to be our second team here easily. And if you are pay to win, you can also establish the second best team in the entire game with Leviathan, our first raid up character, Wolfguard and Akikuri. Those 3 teams combined here, if you have all 3 of them moving into version 1.1, you have the best possible setup that you can possibly have, right? And yeah, in case it's like something goes a little bit wrong when it comes to what you pull, yeah, you know that you have options here, like for example Snowshine and other characters. For example, like if you don't establish yourself this fire team here around Leviathan, but you happen to pull Akikuri, you can also slot her into this physical team or even into any team and use her there as a battery as well, right? I think that it's needless to explain that some characters excel at being slottable, so you can use them in case something would go heavily wrong. But that's about it, right? Reroll and get your hands onto Last Ride. Aim for the standard banner if you need to get Alish, and save up the raid up currency to pull for Yvonne. That is gonna be the most crucial information out there. The rest is kinda either completely free to play or heavily pay to win. So there we go. That's my pull plan for the very first version of Arknights Endfield. I hope that was fun and informative. If you want to see more Arknights Endfield content from me, please consider leaving a follow. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Have a great day. Peace.